The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today, and we have a treat for you. Although you can't see them yet if you're watching the video, I'm getting ready to show you an entire room full of people that we have crammed into this little studio. And today it is all things Shepnaz Basketball, and we're going to be getting to know everybody that's on the leadership team here, and there's going to be some ceremonial passing of the baton, and we're going to talk about registration deadlines coming up and all kinds of things that you can volunteer for. So stay tuned as we get into this. I am going to first have you each go around and kind of introduce yourselves. So I will start with you, Brian, if you would tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be doing this year.
Hi, Brian Nash. Well, I'll just be bouncing around, making sure everything runs smoothly for, the upwards leagues and then in the high school leagues. And you might find me behind the scorers table in some of the games. But just generally making sure that everybody has a good time and everything runs smoothly. Nice.
So Brian is the bouncer.
I guess.
That's what you said, dude.
By height, I'm the tallest, so I guess I get that role.
All right. And next we have.
Hi, I'm Judy. First of all, you also are the guy who gets the stuff out of the ceiling because we can't reach them.
Yeah,
you got to change the light bulbs. So I will be doing a little bit of everything, from director roles to admin roles to social media stuff, helping with the coaches. A little bit of the devotional team, a lot of stuff we're kind of dipping our toes into this season. So I'm going to be all around the place like Brian. I'll just be the shorter one of the two.
Nice. All right. And next we have.
Hi, my name is Mike Fluhart, and this is my first year as a part of the Shepnaz Basketball leadership team. So as the new guy, I do everything that the rest of them don't want to do. So, if, messes get made in locker rooms, toilets stopped up, they'll pass it on to me and say, hey, make sure to do that. So that's my role for the team this year. And as you can tell, they needed a point guard and the tall guys in the basketball, so they brought in the short guy to come in and to clean everything up.
We used a first-round pick on you, so you better be our point guard.
That's it. Yeah, that's the Cleveland Cavs for you right there.
Nice. All right, and next.
I'm Mike Taylor, and I've been doing this for about 9 or 10 years, and I'm finally going to be able to pass the baton.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you are previously...
I was previously the director of Shepnaz Basketball.
All right.
And basically, identified JR as some new blood.
The new heir apparent.
Exactly. This year I'll be stepping back a little bit, but I'll be sending basically all the emails out and doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I'll still be around. But
all right, so you're now ready to pass the baton.
The Shepnaz Basketball baton.
Very official baton.
From director to the new director.
Thank you, sir.
Serve the position well.
What I'm surprised at is he didn't even wait till the end of the podcast to do it. He was just like, hey, Mike Taylor, it's JR, I'm out of here.
I'm surprised he kept the headset on and didn't leave.
Really?
Mike walked in with it. He's like, I'm giving this to him. This is the baton. It's going to him.
There's a Mike Taylor size hole in the door. No, not at all. Not at all. So
very nice. All right, and next we have.
Hi, I'm Heather Grope. I am the new cheer director this year, first year as well. Sounds like they have their basketball squad picked out, so we are on the sidelines cheering. So
nice. And who's this?
I'm Susan Aleshire, and I will be helping Heather with cheerleading this year. I did it last year with our daughter. Your daughter and my daughter.
Both of our daughters.
Last year and the year before, and so I said I would help out again.
Cool. All right. So just for those that are kind of new to the church and new to the program, JR or whoever wants to field this question, kind of wondering, can you tell us a little bit about the kind of the age coverage for both the basketball program and for cheerleading, and kind of roughly when our season starts in general terms and when it ends, because there's some people that are new to the church and this is a whole new experience for them.
Yeah, of course. So this is one of the longest running sports leagues in Gahanna. It's been around since 1991. So this year is 33rd year of the league. Basically, the way the league is broken up, we have an upward section and a competitive section of the league for basketball. Upward will be kindergarten up until 3rd grade boys or 4th grade girls. There's 5 divisions in the upward league. I got that right, or 6? I flipped them. 6 in the upward division. And then there are 5 competitive leagues, which will be 4th grade boys all the way up through high school. So anybody of any age group can play. All are welcome to sign up. I'm going to field the cheerleading portion to the ladies, but registration for basketball and cheerleading will open up on September 1st. When those registrations open, we recommend signing up quickly, because last year 50% of the available spots filled up on day 1. So do not wait. And then in November, we'll start fielding teams. The upward leagues will go through assessments. Those will be November 16th and 18th. For our competitive leagues, they'll have a draft day, which will be a player assessment and a draft on November 23rd. And then we'll roll into practices in December, and games will start in January.
And in general, there's 2 weeks there at the end of December where you guys take a break.
Yep.
So the week of I think it's the 23rd and the week of the 30th, you guys are off for that. So all the practices happen between kind of Thanksgiving and that break, and then it's full on with the games after the new year.
Yep, Santa Claus will bring everybody new basketball shoes. You get one practice, hopefully, before your first game in that first week of January, and then games are on. We'll go through about middle of March with playoffs and taking over the whole church for 3 months.
All right, and ladies, if you would tell us a little bit about the parameters for cheerleading and so forth.
So this is a 3rd year of cheer, similar kindergarten through 3rd to 4th graders, and then you're able to select if you want to cheer for girls or boys. Same alignment with the basketball, though, starts September 1st for registration, along with practices and games. Same timeline.
All right, and we'll go back to kind of some of the registration things again. Again, the registration is opening on September 1st, and I know many of you will be sitting there on the website along with Mike, hitting refresh, refresh, refresh until that button allows you to actually register.
Mike,
we actually had someone last year try and register at midnight on September 1st.
And I know you were concerned.
I was.
Because, hoping that the website would work. Trust me.
I know a guy.
I went to sleep. I was not worried. All right. Now I know.
Joe, it's working.
yeah, I was like, I know, Mike. One of the things that you wanted to talk a little bit about, I think, was how the church can be involved. One of the, really the mission statement of the church is helping people take their next steps towards Jesus. And, as we've done many interviews with people that have come to the church and like, how did you come to Shepherd? And there's so many of those stories that start with, I came for basketball, and then things progressed for them after that. And so if you could speak to a little bit about how you're trying to tweak to make sure that this is not only just a sporting event, which is great that we're providing that recreation and kind of that time for community and for fun, but there's also some motivation behind it, and kind of talk to a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, of course. So when you look at this league, there's over 500 kids every year in the league. That's 500 kids every week in the church who may not come here, plus moms, dads, siblings, friends. You get over 1,000 people a week who don't come to our church regularly, and that's a great opportunity for us to reach out and be involved with everybody. So the one thing we look at is we've got so many different opportunities for people to get involved, and it's not just coaching. You don't have to be able to be a coach from the church to be able to be part of this league. Brian and Mike and I run the scores table and the scorebook. That's a great opportunity. If you want to come watch some basketball, you can also volunteer and have a front row seat every week for a basketball game. We have a concession stand for both the Upward games in the Central Complex and in the FLC. There's a concession stand. That's a great opportunity to get involved. We're also looking at a couple new opportunities this year. We're starting a hospitality team, which will be basically, you look around, if someone's lost in the church, they need to know where the restroom is, they need to know where a game is, they need to know where a locker room is. We're going to have people in the church to help them out and greet them and just kind of talk to everybody and say, who are you here for? Glad you're here. Come see us on a Sunday. Come see us on whatever event we're having in the church. The other opportunity I'm really excited about is the devotional team we're going to work on starting. The Upward teams, their Upward program comes with a weekly devotional. So we have volunteers from the church already kind of involved in preaching the gospel to the kids and the coaches for the Upward leagues, but our competitive leagues don't have any of that. So the opportunity is there. We tested it out a few times last season with our competitive leagues, and we had pretty full rooms of both teams, some parents, some friends, before each of those competitive games. So it secretly, it gives the coaches a way to get your teams together, but it also gives us a great audience and a great captive audience to listen to that every week. So that's one of the things we're really excited for, is looking for people to kind of step up and kind of present those devotionals. And the other thing that this may be more your alley is...
Oh, really?
Well, at the end of the season last year, we also worked on streaming some basketball games live. So we're looking at different ways to expand that. If you have any technical expertise, like somebody in the room might have, maybe that's something we can expand on too. Last season during the playoffs, I had parents on cruises messaging me directly saying, hey, I'm so glad I can watch this game. And that's one of the things I think that we are doing a really good job of, is finding different ways to expand the league and use the talents all around the church.
Yeah, great. And I think that you would not say no to people that, say, well, I could do it sometimes. I can't commit to 3 months every single Saturday.
Right.
So what, how can they work that out as far as, are you setting up a schedule kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, we're going to set up a schedule. We're still kind of working on the details of, all the available spots, but we're going to have games. There's multiple games a day. So let's just use score table, for example. If you can be there at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, and that's it, and you want to run a score table, you can sign up for those 3. That's awesome. It's so appreciated. If you want to be there all day, awesome. Whatever you are willing to donate your time and your expertise, we greatly appreciate it, and it's always open.
And I'm going to ask one more kind of just practical question. As far as like the schedule, you had mentioned that there's a little bit of change in how we're doing the games in the scheduling this year as opposed to some previous years. So if you could speak to that a little bit.
So our youth leagues from kindergarten up to 3rd and 4th grade girls and the 3rd grade boys league that'll be in the Central Complex, those games were normally at 8, 9, 10, right on the hour. We're going to change it to an hour and 15-minute time slot essentially for everything. So it'll be kindergarten at 8 o'clock. 1st grade boys will be at 9:15. We're going to give that extra...
First and second grade
girls. One of those 1st grade leagues. There'll be an extra 15-minute gap in between those games.
JR, don't make him take that baton back.
I don't know how he memorizes all this. So he looks so easy. But basically, we're going to have that extra 15 minutes. So we have that little buffer and that window where the traffic coming in and out of games, it's so congested in there with 2 games going on simultaneously. So we're going to spice it up a little bit, hopefully make it easier on coaches, parents, and the players as well.
Join us for Worship Night at Shepherd Church Johnstown campus on Sunday, August 11th at 6 p.m. Experience an evening of powerful worship and uplifting music where we will encounter God's presence. Bring your family, bring your friends, and let's come together to celebrate and connect. Shepherd Church in Johnstown is located at 280 South Main Street, Johnstown, Ohio. We hope to see you on Sunday, August 11th at 6 p.m.
Well, and I think it's just indicative of the program in general, even though it's been running for so many years, that every year we try to get a little bit better. And every year we take a look at what worked, what didn't, and try to tweak it to make it so if it gives us a little more space in between the games, and that way there's not quite so much cross traffic. Sometimes it can be a little hectic in here on a Saturday. So I'd like to kind of take a second. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are all donating your time and energy and everything to do this for our community, for the church, and ultimately for the kingdom. So why. If you would speak to a moment, and anyone that wants to volunteer first, like why, how did God put this on your heart, and why is it that you're doing this? And maybe that would be inspiration for some other people that want to step up and be part of it as well. Who wants to go first? We have a taker.
I'll start. I initially got involved with it because my daughter, like I said, saw a need for cheerleading. She was involved in cheerleading. We had been a part of an Upwards program when she was little with her brothers and her, and it really meant a lot to us. And then seeing the basketball program here at Shepnaz, she was like, hey, she went to Mike and said, hey, what do you think about having cheerleading? And he was like, sure, you're going to lead it.
As long as you're doing
Thanks
it.
for volunteering.
Sounds great.
And part of that was she wanted the girls that may not be interested in basketball to have the opportunity to have to do cheer.
Or boys.
Yep. And it builds a lot of self-confidence. I enjoy the really young kids, like the kindergartners. I've had a kindergarten squad 2 years, and they're a lot of fun. And you don't have to know a whole lot, but I just enjoy seeing them grow, and not only their skills, but like I said, we do, like you said, they do the devotions and things like that. And so that's just a fun part. And it comes from having that experience from when my kids were younger.
Well, and they're still at that age that they completely sell out. I mean, they just, it's full on when they're cheering.
And they look cute no matter what they do. So don't have to know a whole lot about cheerleading.
Who's going next?
Oh, well, basically I started this, or going to Shepnaz with my son, who was maybe fifth grade, playing basketball, and he did it all the way through high school. And then when Pastor David Middendorf kind of was looking to retire, it wasn't this one, but he passed that baton to me. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me run with it. But to see 500 plus kids come to church, that's a great opportunity, I think. Plus their parents, plus siblings. It just to come through the door, I think that's a great opportunity for our church to share the gospel with them. So that and also the athletic. I know you can't tell, but I was never an athlete growing up. So I think I know. But I think it gives some students, some kids, an opportunity to play basketball if they don't make their school team or they've never played basketball before. It gives them an opportunity to get out and play basketball during the winter months.
Great. Anyone else want to share? All right, Brian's up.
I think I really started helping more as an opportunity to give back.
See, he is an athlete, though.
Why you gotta steal my thunder?
I was always the ball boy.
But yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to play for my high school and for my middle school growing up. So, being able to give back and teach kids, the game, and then just seeing the opportunity that they have to grow, from learning. And then kind of just seeing the light bulb moments when they understand things that you're trying to teach them. It's real rewarding opportunity, and just giving back is important.
All right.
I can go next. So my involvement has grown over the last few years. I have a daughter who is not a basketball player, so we first got involved through cheer that way. Last year I coached, and then this year I'm on the leadership team. But I think last year with coaching there, I was with 3rd and 4th grade girls, and their self-esteem and growth from the beginning of the year to practice, where we had a few people in tears, to going out at the last game and they're leading cheers, and you can just tell their self-confidence of trying something new grew. So I have one of those children as well who is a little uneasy in new situations. So just seeing the growth, and then taking some of the devotional stuff that we talk about being a good friend or being put in different situations, and hopefully they're able to take some of that and maybe take it home, or if they have a situation at school, we can kind of help talk through some of those situations. So hopefully just making them a better rounded person. So
All right.
I'll jump in. So, first off, it's in my blood. My dad started the Circleville NAS Upward program. There they have a very large program now as he's passed the baton. So it kind of felt natural to jump in and to be a part of it. But specifically the Upward and why like a Shepnaz basketball is so much better than other leagues. You know, as a kid growing up, I played sports, soccer, basketball. Tried baseball, was really good at getting hit by the pitch. In fact, that's what my coach told me to do, is stand close to the bait because I couldn't hit.
That seems illegal now.
You know, hey, you know.
Here, Mike, you just get hit.
Yeah, just go get
That's
hit, and then
your
you could get on. I was fast, so he wanted me on the base. He taught me to bunt, and he taught me to get hit by the pitch. But
Nice.
he didn't let me swing the whole year.
Shepnaz Basketball does not endorse human targets.
Oh yeah, I guess I should clarify this. But I'll say this. You know, I tried out for. I know this is soccer, but I tried out for an Ohio to represent Ohio at a national tournament, and I made it all the way to the last day. And a kid showed up and was not any good, and he made the team over me. And I even talked to the other guys. I was like, "What in the world? He's not that good." And they're like, oh, his dad has a lot of money and pays for everything, so we're just going to put him on the team, and because he can kind of pay for all of us to do it. And I was kind of like, you know, that is what's wrong with sports.
Yeah.
Not that, you know, I'm not saying anybody can't have money. If you want to give me money, I'll take it. It's that sports are about having fun. It's about coming in, being with your team, working hard, and that's what, you know, and just being in a safe environment, not about politics or anything like that. You can just come in and everybody's equal. And Upward kind of takes the score out of it to even take the competitive, not that it's not competitive, but take the cutthroat side out of it, just so kids can learn and be around sports. And that for me is so much fun. When you take that away, you watch the kids grow. I've coached now for 2 years, now in the leadership team. It's just a lot of fun to watch. And it's a great environment for them to do it.
I can remember last year seeing some kid, I mean, it was a little kid, probably in just early elementary, and hit a buzzer beater, you know, and like the whole Central Complex went wild. It didn't matter what team you were on. It was just like, wow, that was a great moment for that kid, and everybody celebrated it. All right, JR, why are you doing this?
So I actually have maybe the most experience with Shepnaz Basketball in the room. I played way back in like 1997.
Wow, that was a different century.
There was carpet in the gym. And I get asked now, if a kid asks me, when did you play? I said there was carpet. And then they don't ask what year, they ask how old I am. So that's where we're going with the conversation.
They were using animal organs for the ball.
it did bounce all sideways. No, so I played up until 8th grade. There wasn't a high school league when I played, which thank goodness, because I wasn't very good. And then I transitioned into coaching. I coached for 7 or 8 years, and then became on the leadership team with Mike and Brian. So I've kind of seen full circle, and now I've got a kid in the league. So now I'm really full circle.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing is you get all the different aspects. Everybody's already said it. You get to see all these kids grow, and then you get to help them learn and develop not only as basketball players but as people. Some of the kids I've coached are now coaching in the league, which is super cool because they felt connected and inspired to give back. Some of the kids who have played in the league are now participating in the Monday Night Men's Ministry we do for basketball because it brings them into the church. Sometimes we are the only Bible somebody gets throughout the week, and that's a great opportunity with so many people in the church. I think that's the biggest thing that motivates everybody.
Yeah, I think that's great. Now, we had mentioned before that certainly there was opportunities to volunteer on Saturdays to help out all the way around. How's it look for coaching staff? Would you like some basketball coaches and some cheer coaches?
I mean, I'm not going to say no to any coaches. So
we will say yes to cheer coaches.
Just not me. I'm not going to coach. Go.
That would be okay.
So right now we're in the process with registration opening. We are giving the opportunity to our previous coaches from last season first. But if anybody is interested in coaching, please reach out to us. And just let us know, because if those spots open, we're going to go to that wait list and we're going to see who has a spot to fill. But
great.
And
Yes,
I'd
go
like
ahead.
to say, as far as cheerleading volunteer and coaches, you don't have to know anything about cheerleading. You really don't. You don't have to have cheered. You don't have to know anything about it. We've got videos that show you all the cheers. We've got cards. We'll come alongside you. We'll be there for the practices if you need us. We need cheer coaches.
So there'll be a little bit of a train the trainer there, and you'll make sure that they know everything that they need to know. All right, Mike, did JR forget anything, or is there anything that we need to add here?
I think he did a pretty good job.
All
For his
right.
first time, yeah, that's pretty good.
what's my draft score?
Well, to be determined.
Second round pick?
But if you do have any questions, you can either email snbb.org or jjudy. Well,
It's UDY.
jjudy at shepnaz.org or mtaylor at shepnaz.org. Or if you have questions about cheer,
I don't have a Shep email, but it's hlgrope@yahoo.com.
All right. So if
we
any,
can fix that.
If you forgot all of those already, stick with the snbb at shepnaz.org, and we will get it routed to the right place. Also, we didn't mention before, but we talked about the church, about the website. The website is shepnazbasketball.org. You can also get to it by going to the church website, which is shepnaz.org, and then click on Shepnaz Basketball. But you can get there directly by going to shepnazbasketball.org. Registration opens on September 1st, and we're taking volunteers right now. You can email snbb@shepnaz.org. For all of these great people in the room, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.